cave of En Gedi, where the shadows play, the king slipped away from his men that day. A chance for the throne in the palm of a hand. The blade cut the robe's edge as quiet as sand. The shepherd steps back as the Lord had planned. I will not touch the king whom the Lord has chosen. In the heat of the trial, the cold heart is frozen. Father, look upon the robe within my hand. The Lord will judge between us as he planned. Tears fell down from the face of the king, confessing the promise the Lord would bring. A feast of the harvest, a voice of the fool. Ignores the golden rule, but a woman of wisdom steps into the storm, turning the anger to a graceful form. The voice of the Spirit calmed the rising tide. Peace returned to the valley where the virtues abide. The fool awoke to the cold morning light. His heart turned to stone and he died in the night. The woman of wisdom became the shepherd's bride. The hand of the Lord was opening wide. In the desert of Ziph, the spear in the ground stands as a silent glyph. Let me strike once, just one blow tonight. But the shepherd held back the warrior's right. Again mercy overcomes the desire for revenge. The shepherd leaves vengeance to the Lord of light. He lifted the spear and the water jar high, a witness of mercy beneath the open sky. My life was precious in your eyes this day. He blessed the shepherd and went his way. The fear in the heart after the long flight, adrift from the promise in the darkest night, seeking a refuge in the land of the foe. The shepherd must dwell where the cold winds blow. By day he struck the enemies of Israel's God, but told Achish a different road he trod. The king trusts the servant in the shifting sand, a double life hidden in a foreign land. But the heart of the shepherd remains in the call. Though he stumbles in shadows, he will not fall.